Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review on the Eizo Pro Supreme boxing gloves. So check it out. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Eizo Pro Supreme boxing gloves. I got mine in the white and gold colorway, 12 ounces and lace up. You can also get these in Velcro, anywhere between 10 and 16 ounces, and they have it in a red, white, a black and red, as well as a white and black colorway. Now, Eizo is a brand that's been around for a couple of years now. I've actually seen their equipment on social media, mainly on Instagram, and I've always been kind of intrigued by the design and look of their products, and finally pulled the trigger and was able to get my hands up on their pair of their 12 ounce Pro Supreme gloves, which is pretty much their high-end training glove. And I'm glad I did. I was pleasantly surprised by these. These actually way surpassed my expectations. I really didn't know what to expect, and when I finally got them, they're really soft, have a nice broken in feel, use a multi-layer foam composition of padding that performs nicely. And it quickly became one of my favorite synthetic boxing gloves, and just one of my favorite gloves in general to use while I'm training. Eizo does describe this more as a sparring glove on their website, but to me, this is a perfect training glove for really everything in the gym, whether it's sparring, hitting the mitts, hitting the bag. In the 12 ounce format, obviously I would not use this for sparring because it's too small and too light, but I definitely feel that these do an amazing job, especially on the heavy bag and on the mitts. The gloves themselves are manufactured in China, but that definitely doesn't take away from the performance. And overall, the quality on this is pretty solid. But looking at it design-wise, you can see it has a medium to compact size to it. The polyurethane outside casing that they use here, the synthetic leather, very similar to like what Fly uses on their X line. It does say Eizo in vertical in the gold, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of wear on the gold right there, and that's obviously going to happen once you start using these gloves, especially on that impact surface. But you can see that the leather, or the synthetic, has a little bit more of a satin finish to it. You do have the triple cuff with the Eizo logo right there, and I'd say about maybe an inch to an inch and a quarter of two density of foams, more of a softer foam on the inside, and then a little bit of a harder foam on the exterior on that triple cuff. The liner on the inside I love. It's that Tricot smooth satin liner. It doesn't bunch up. You also have the Eizo logo right there that's stitched in, as well as the tag right here where it shows where it's manufactured, as well as the sizing. You have long, flat black laces with plastic tips at the end. So you do have the plastic tips right there. Black piping on the inside. It also says, "Always be proud," which is kind of the slogan they use, as well as 12 ounces for the weight. So you have the weight right there, black piping around the thumb. You do have ventilated holes on the palm, and a really large grip bar that has a little bit more of a medium density to it, as well as a attached thumb. One thing I would have liked to see with the attached thumb is the location maybe a little bit further up right here rather than towards the middle of the thumb, because I feel like when I make a fist, it still is a little bit exposed on this end, and again for anti-thumbing. So it would have been nicer if this piece right here was a little bit higher up, so it would prevent the tip of the thumb from sticking out. But overall, there it is design-wise. It looks very nice, a very attractive looking glove. Quality-wise, I mean, for a synthetic glove, these are very, very nice. You can see the stitching looks all on point. They use a double stitching. It's very symmetrical. You know, it's held up really well as far as the synthetic goes. The glove is a 12 ounce glove, and they weighed in at like 11.8 and 11.7 ounces. So slightly underweight, but not very noticeable, to be honest with you. I'd say the only quality issue I would say is just the position, and that location of that attached thumb should have been a little bit higher up. But very well balanced. You can see it's not a top heavy glove, so if I hold the glove, it doesn't just drop and sag at the very end of the glove, or should I say the very top of the glove. The liner is very nice as well. Nice and smooth, no issues with the stitching there. The edges look good. All the corners look really clean. The foam material is bonded nicely to the synthetic. So overall, I mean, quality on these are pretty solid. You see where the thumb meets the index finger, that looks clean as well. Comfort Probably one of my favorite things about this glove is outside of the performance. Extremely comfortable glove, and I know I repeat myself sometimes in these videos, but when I first got these gloves, they're even more softer now that I've been using them, but they're very, very broken in. And that's for me, that's a personal thing. I love soft broken in gloves, and these definitely are it. You can see that I have excellent mobility with my fingers. I can open and close my palm with no problem at all. Very flexible. The liner feels great. The thumb is nice and deep, and position is perfect. So you can see that it's nice and long. My thumb doesn't jam at the very end. The piping doesn't pinch down even with hand wraps. And keep in mind, this is a 12-ounce glove, so if you get 16s, they'll definitely be larger and a little bit more roomier. So if you have longer fingers, bigger hands, then maybe go with a 14 or 16-ounce glove. But these are extremely comfortable. I like that soft tricot foamy liner on the inside. The wrist support feels really good when it's locked in. And I love the dimensions of the glove. They're not an overly huge glove, so they have a little bit more of a compact feel to them, but just very comfortable. There's no pinch points. There's no areas in the glove where you start to feel a little bit of pressure or your hand goes numb. Again, I'd say the only area of concern would be this thumb being a little bit extended out where the attachment should be a little bit more towards the tip. But overall, extremely comfortable. Protection and performance-wise, these gloves do an amazing job for bag work. Using them for mitts, you can make a nice, tight, solid fist, especially with that grip bar right there. Very soft, so you have no issues with hand fatigue. Sometimes you get gloves that are way too stiff and it feels like your hands kind of fatigue out just from making a fist because of how tight and how stiff the gloves are. With these, you can make a nice, tight, excellent fist. Almost reminds me of a fight glove in a way, just a larger fight glove. And really land nice and flush on those two front knuckles. You know, feel great when you use them. Very underrated. Great shock absorption. But excellent feedback. I mean, I love just the way these perform. Heavy bag, mitt work, and even for sparring, they're definitely forgiving enough for yourself and for your sparring partner. I would recommend probably going with a lace-up version if you do get these primarily as a sparring glove. Cost-wise, these gloves I believe are right currently at about $139. Now, I know a lot of you are gonna say, well, they're made in China, they're not real leather. And you guys do have a valid point with that. And generally, typically I would be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's way overpriced for a glove that's kind of Chinese made, it's not synthetic. However, I feel like these gloves really hit all the points when it comes to making a really nice boxing glove. Like, they look good aesthetically, they're balanced, the quality for synthetic is really nice. I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't. I mean, if you were to put this next to the Fly X-Line gloves, in terms of quality, I mean, you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. And I think the X-Lines are actually probably made in China as well, if I can recall. They may use probably the same foam as the standard Fly gloves, but from what I remember hearing, and some rumors that those gloves are also made in China. So again, I feel like this glove definitely hits all the right notes. They're super comfortable, the padding is awesome. I love the liner, they look good. For $139, it's kind of a tough pill to swallow. At like 100 to 120, 100%, I would buy these all over again if they're like the $100 to $120 range. Definitely, 139 is a little bit on the high end, but for me using them, I would probably pay $139 for these gloves just because I love the way they feel and how they perform. And hopefully someone else can get a pair of these and give their feedback and put those in the comments, because these are, to me, probably one of the more overlooked gloves out there. I mean, you don't really see too many people wearing these, but they're definitely a really nice performing glove. And I'm actually excited to try it. Hopefully I get to try out their Pro Fight gloves as well. I'm excited to try those, but overall, really very impressed with these Eizo Pro Supreme boxing gloves. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Eizo Pro Supreme boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.